Senator Rui Matsukawa spent 23 years in Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, working on disarmament, managing the Japan-Korea-China trilateral dialogue, the new national defense strategy. What should we understand about how Japan is changing, what this new foreign policy in Tokyo will look like?
Okay, well, thank you for the question. But before answering to the specific question raised, I would like to just say, hearing the Madam Akie Abe's speech, I would like to share with you that I've been a diplomat, career diplomat for more than 20 years, and I loved my job. I never imagined to be a politician. If it were not Prime Minister Abe, I wouldn't have even thought about becoming a politician. So I really think that what Prime Minister Abe left for Indo-Pacific strategy, as a strategy to us, and then also now that the following leaders are based on that assets, trying to establish more resilient region and more self-reliant Japan, departing from the post-war regime. That's what I think the Japan basically have been working on, and is now that more drastically and more, catching the pace to hasten the completion. And responding to your question, that is what actually we're doing. Because, yes, I have to be honest, I think it's a fair judgment that the US now, the present US is less powerful vis-a-vis China than before, let's say, and also maybe less predictable, if I may say it this way. Therefore, Japan is, and then the third thing, be assured, our alliance, Japan-US alliance, is strongest in the history, I think. And everybody in Japan believes in so. That being said, what Japan should do, we have to protect our nation on ourselves, by ourselves. So first thing we are doing is to strengthen our own defense capability in many fields. And it's not just defense, but technology, or like economy, or information, intelligence, all the things we have to tackle on. In my opinion, what is left as the post-war regime that we haven't been able to complete is one is intelligence, the other is sea lane protection, and then a new way of fighting. But now that the direction is to strengthen our own capability, in many fields, all fields, food security, energy security, resources security, defense capability, all of it, economic security. It's 10 years, but especially this couple of years is to increase our partnership. Increase our partnership with the countries that we can share the strategic interests, like in UK or Australia or recent South Korea, and also the countries in first island chain, the Philippines, possibly Indonesia and India, although these latter two countries are more independent. So that we are doing. So if I answer it to you correctly, and then abolishing the restrictions of arms sales completely now is something that one step forward for making our country more independent and strong. And that defense equipment transfer can facilitate deepening a relationship with these countries, because it will make an irreversible deepening of the defense relationship. If the Philippines has the Japanese vessels or the Japanese radar, then our relationship will stay forever, right? Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. And of course, you were a leader in the parliament in pushing for those changes to allow Japan to export more defense articles.
Yeah, I even established the parliamentary league 6 years ago.
6 years ago, wow.
At that time, it was so minor. The defense equipment export was such a minor issue. Now it's central, so I'm really happy for that.
Let's turn to China and Taiwan.
Okay.
Easy question. Prime Minister Takaichi said in one of her first remarks after taking office that a Chinese move on Taiwan could trigger a Japanese military response. The Chinese government retaliated. How is your government approaching the Japan-China relationship?
Important question. And by the way, her remark was not intentional. If you look at the debates thoroughly, then she was nailed to answer the question after question, and then. But the thing is, I want to make clear: one, Japan's position with regards to Taiwan hasn't changed a bit from the beginning. We have been very solid about our position that there are two sides needs to, if there is any difference of opinion, needs to be settled peacefully. That's one thing. The second pillar is, though Japan opposes any unilateral change of the status quo by force, we oppose. And third, according to the San Francisco Treaty, because we came back to the international community by signing the San Francisco Treaty, and there we formally abandoned our position vis-a-vis Taiwan, position of Taiwan. Therefore, we don't have any formal position to say over the position of Taiwan. That three pillars stays the same. And Hub remarks has been in that interpretation within. So there shouldn't be any hard reaction by China. So anytime we want to have a talk, honest talk with China, because China is an important neighbor, and would like to build a constructive relations. So that's our position. So I want to see the opportunity to seek the stabilization of the relationship with China through this year. Maybe APEC could be one opportunity, I'm hoping.
So thank you for your service. Thank you for your time today. And could we please give our panelists one last round of applause?